everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In today's episode we're going to be talking about my new watch, Tudor Black Bay 58 in blue. You know, when you buy a new watch, you're overfilled with emotions. They're usually positive emotions. You know, you've been waiting for this watch on a list for a long time, or you've been waiting for this watch because it has a beautiful color, unique dial, case metals, materials. You're just thrilled to have this watch. And then there's the bad emotions, and that's usually hurts your bank account, bills are coming, wife's unhappy. You could have taken me on a trip to Mexico. But we're not gonna focus on any of that today. We're only gonna focus on the good stuff, on the reason why I got this watch, a little bit of the history of this watch, and most importantly, if you're in the market for a Black Bay 58, should you get it or not? It was the year of 2017, I believe, when my friend bought a Tudor Black Bay Heritage in red dial. This watch was one of the most beautiful watches I've ever seen because that red really had its way to my heart. I never really loved color in watches. I was this super plain and boring black dial, black bezel, that's it. Until that watch. That red was so unique. It's super rare to find a watch that has any red details in it. And this watch was just too hot. And every time I'd see it on his wrist, every time I'd see photos of the Black Bay Heritage, I thought it was one of the most beautiful divers to ever exist. And every time I'd put the watch on my wrist, I would change my mind. The watch was too chunky for me. See, it was 41 millimeters in case diameter, and it was so unnecessarily thick at 15 millimeters. My cheap $100 Invicta Pro diver that has a date complication is 14 millimeters. This watch was too big for my liking, and despite the design, the aesthetics of this watch being so beautiful, I just couldn't get past this thing. And in 2018, Tudor has fixed it. They've taken this watch and they've perfected it and called it the Black Bay 58. Now, Black Bay 58, you might be wondering, what's the 58 stand for? Well, that's a very good question. Black Bay 58 was the Black Bay Heritage taken through the late 1950s to the Tudor Submariner 7924 that was released in 1958. And it's taken inspiration from that, and it's the Tudor Black Bay 58 that we have now. Now, the Tudor Submariner 7924 that I said that was released in 1958 was this 38 millimeter watch, dive watch, black bezel, black dial, a yellowish hour indicators and arrows, and a red dot in the triangle up at 12 o'clock. And that is pretty much what we have with the Tudor Black Bay 58. It's an homage or an inspiration or a recreation of that Submariner. Now, they made the watch in 39 millimeters, which I think is the sweet spot for a watch. I mean, it's probably the only one reason why this watch has gone to be so crazy. The watch on the secondary market was doing better than brand new. Brand new being priced at, I don't know, in 2018, I don't remember what it was priced at, but it was going for a few $100 more, $500 more, $1,000 even on the secondary market. People are flipping these like crazy. And you might be wondering, or might be thinking that obviously supply and demand has to do something with this, but you have to understand that even if they don't make these watches that fast and they put you on a little list, stay on the list. Unless you really, really, really want the watch, then you'd be paying more than you could be paying in store just to have it. So there is really something about this watch. Now, when they brought this watch from 41 millimeters in case diameter to 39 and from 15 millimeters to 11.3, this watch was just a banger. It is to this day the most popular model that Tudor has. It's the watch that put Tudor on the map and put Tudor to where it is now. Tudor was a good brand, people knew of Tudor, but it was nowhere near as popular. It did not have any crazy or insane model. It really was just this kind of mid watch, while now it's, I don't want to say overtaking Omega, but to some extent it's literally the most popular watch. The watch has a closed case back, sapphire crystal, obviously, as you would expect from a watch like this, but it's done in a very acrylic style dome, and it makes it look very new, modern, but it does really resemble some vintage look with the glass. The watch does not have any other complication except to show you the time, and that's perfect. The watch does not have crown guards, as it dates back to the sub from the 1958, which did not have crown guards, and it had a big crown at 8 millimeters in diameter. That was a very large crown for a 38 millimeter watch. The crown now is nowhere near as big, but it's beautiful nonetheless. In 2020, Tudor has decided to grow the Black Bay 58 collection and has introduced to us a few other models. One of them being the one that I have now on my wrist, the Black Bay 58 M79030B. And that is a watch in blue. It's an all steel case with a blue dial, blue bezel, and it has no yellow indicators, no yellow arrows, no yellow details on it. They've also gotten rid of the red dot up on the triangle on 12 o'clock. So this watch by itself, it's a more independent watch. It has really not much to do with the Submariner 1958. It's a more, like I said, independent, with a little more modern take. They've also introduced to us Black Bay 58925, which is a silver with a grayish bezel and details, and also the bronze. Now each of these watches really deserve a video of their own of how beautiful they are. But today in the house we have the Black Bay 58 blue. If you are wondering, why did I choose blue? Did I really want the blue? Should you choose the blue version of this watch? And the simple answer to your question is that the deal was so good on this watch that I couldn't pass it along. It was probably the cheapest Tudor in Western Canada. And it was by a friend of mine that I knew how exactly he takes care of his watches, and the watch had nearly to zero scratches, and I had to pull the trigger. Now, the more I look at this watch, obviously the more I like it. I started to introduce more color in my life, as you can tell, and I love it. Plus, I do have a few dive watches that are black dial and bezel and everything, and it was time, I think, to spice up my collection with a little more color. Now, if you don't have any dive watches, or if you don't have black dive watches, or if you're truly not a man of color, then I would suggest you to get the black version. Get the original. You can't really go wrong with the original. In terms of versatility, this watch wears really, really well in any conditions, situations, and outfits. I could be home with my daughter, changing diapers, in shorts or literally dressed like I am now, and wear the watch, and I absolutely love it, and it just fits that occasion. And I can take my whole family to a fine restaurant where we all dress nice and elegant, and it's just gonna work. This watch is a one watch collection. If you get a Black Bay 58, you truly need nothing else, unless you're stupid like me. You really need no other watch. It will do the job for dressing up in a suit, going to the office or an event, or go golfing. I don't really care. It's a go anywhere, do anything type watch. And this is the watch that you usually want to get, as versatile as possible. I put the watch on a rubber strap because it really fits me and my personality better. I just really like how casual it makes this watch. Originally this watch came on a bracelet, and I have removed it. I like the fact that these Vanguard strap was pretty much made for the Black Bay 58. It's a little costly. It's a little over $100 US for the rubber strap, but the tone of blue, the shade, fits exactly the watch, and it's the way it fits on the watch itself, without any gaps, without any, it just looks very professional. It looks like a strap that was made by Tudor. The problem with the bracelet that a lot of people tend to have, and that's not the case with me, is the fact that the bracelet is a rivet style bracelet or riveted style bracelet. And that is, if you look per se on this watch on Tudor's website, it's not on anyone's wrist. You just look at the photo where the watch is facing you directly, then you will see on the bracelet where the pieces connect, it has rivets and they stick out. Now, a lot of the people get annoyed by that, but the one thing I will tell you is the second you put the watch on your wrist, you will never look at the watch perfectly down to be seeing how the rivets are popping out. You'll always look more of an angle and you will literally never see that. In my case, it never bothered me. So you can get it on a bracelet. I would actually suggest to get it on a bracelet because any strap after this costs less. So to get a bracelet after, it will cost you more money than to get a leather strap or a rubber strap after. So if you want more value of your watch, even when you resell it, if that's the case, just get it on a bracelet. Now that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you made it to the end, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below. What do you guys think of the watch? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's worth, the hype? Do you think it's a good watch? And if you have it, share your experience. How long have you had it for? Let me know. I would really love to read that. So with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video.